K. Hemp. You can follow me on Facebook at Henry Singleton or on Twitter at HenryHayoU15.
Listen, this your boy Fred. Listen, you can follow me on Facebook at Brandon Fred Jones, or you can follow me on Twitter at BFred Jones.
This is Jeremiah Gray, man, with GSportz. You can follow me on Facebook, Jeremiah Gray, AKG, and on Twitter, G_paid in full 08.
Pay me the money. money.
Well, what's up, everybody? This ball coach Henry K. Hemp.
My dark horse is Dak Prescott to win the MVP.
You are bad. You are so bad, they need to put you in a dictionary on side of bad with a capital letters. Tell you something, dog. I mean, this happens every day in society. You know, just like if you're in a school, you know, you have little kids picking on certain kids. Certain kids know they can make fun of this kid because that kid probably ain't gonna say nothing. But they know if they make fun of this kid might come upside your head. Kwame Brown, early on in his career, he wasn't saying nothing. He was quiet, chilling. But y'all probably haven't been around Kwame Brown in I don't know how long. So now he's in a place where, man, you know what? I'm grown now. Y'all still want crack jokes? I'm about to let y'all have it. And I think that's what's happening right now with Matt Barnes, Steven Jackson, and Stephen E. You're an analytical guy. You're a very analytical guy. You got to do your facts, Fred. Hey, that boy, Fred. I think they have enough, even without Jaylen Brown, to upset the Brooklyn Nets. I really don't see the Brooklyn Nets being able to stop the Celtics on offense. And I really don't think that they're going to have that continuity with James Harden, Kevin Durant, and Kyrie because they only played 8 games together.
I don't disagree with that part.
I'm just telling you.
But scoring is scoring. And at the end of the day, can the Boston Celtics keep up with their scoring? I don't see the Boston Celtics really stopping Brooklyn from getting 115 with the team, especially if Harden's there. Welcome, everybody. FanView Live, Real Fans Talk Sports, New Orleans Talk Network. We back, baby. We live in the building, full effect. Y'all already know what it is. GSportz, Coach Hurricane Hen.
Back a motherfucking game.
There it is. Eerie. Been a couple of weeks. We've been busy, y'all. We'll be back. Y'all stay subscribe to this FanView Live page, Facebook, YouTube. It's keep growing, baby. Y'all know what was coming back with a vengeance. Y'all already know what we're about to come do. Keep it up. Hit the subscribe button if you're on YouTube. Hit the notification button if you're on Facebook, man. Appreciate all the support for this show, man. We're going to keep things up and going. GSportz. You saw what happened previously. Celtics still had a shot to be without Jaylen Brown. Any takes on your comments from 2 weeks ago?
I mean, you just saw what happened with Brad Stevens and Danny Ainge, man. There's a lot of turmoil going on in the organization, man. I mean,
so you want to blame it on the organization?
You know, when you got turmoil in the family and everybody not on the same page, people, how do you just retire as the team president like the next day? That's a clear indication that there's a lot of turmoil going on in that organization. Then Brad Stevens gets promoted to team president. I don't know what the hell is going on in Boston, but obviously I'm pretty sure more rumors and what's been going on over the last year or two inside that locker room and inside that organization is going to come out and it's going to make more sense.
Here you go, trying to find a way to validate the prediction.
Just saying.
I see. It's real slick side.
I was talking about just on the court. I mean, I didn't know all this was going on off the court.
you a head coach?
Look, when they asked Danny Ainge and Brad Stevens, why was this move made? They couldn't even really give him a legitimate answer. They couldn't do it. So that further lets me know that what I'm saying is right.
I like how he started off to answer the question with the
the egg wiping off the face. Y'all, I know y'all ain't catch that. Make sure y'all rewind.
Rewind.
But it was tough. But I tell you what, they gave them a better series than what I thought. I forget the number of the total games that it took for the Nets to win it. When you're faced with that lineup that the Nets got, and you're down your second best player, and you was in every game. I don't think you have nothing to hang your head over. I do think, like, in order for the Celtics to keep progressing, Kemba Walker has to go do some soul searching. We need to see that same Kemba when he was with Charlotte. It's like as soon as he got around help, it's like he lost the
Can't make shell of himself.
That killer instinct that he used that he was one of the guys that you felt didn't get a lot of respect early on in his career, and it's like when he got with help, it's like he lost that fire. Maybe this is a new fire.
Well, to Kemba Walker's defense, he has been struggling with the knee tendonitis and the knee issues over the last 2 years since he's been with the Celtics. There's been a lot of times where he's been on many restrictions. There's been times where he had to sit out 2 and 3 games at a time because the knee swells up. So I think that's the bigger reason why Kemba hasn't been the Kemba that we know he can be. But when he's fully healthy and he's not struggling with the knee tendonitis, he plays at a high level. I think that's another reason why the Celtics didn't reach their full potential in these last 2 years. And with Jaylen Brown going out with the wrist injury, I thought that was really incredible that they did even take this to 6 games against the Brooklyn Nets.
But we're gonna get into the Brooklyn Nets a little later. But right now, let's open up this show. Let's have the conversation, y'all. First round of the playoffs so far. What's y'all take on the first round? Obviously, we had a one sweep. We had Miami out there. Got packing real early. Obviously, we had a couple of 4-1 matches. We had a 4-1 match with Brooklyn and the Celtics. I think even the Wizards got a game. Again, they was done 4-1. But we still got some people still playing. We got the Dallas Mavericks and the Clippers. We still got that. To me, the best game that happened so far between that Game 5 between Denver and Portland that was on NBA TV. You're bad NBA for that one, but that's no here nor there.
Bad.
And you still got the Lakers and the Clippers. We'll talk about the Lakers, the Suns in a second. But what's your take on the first round of the NBA playoffs so far?
To me, you good? Mm-hmm. To me, it shows good. The teams that have the better front office have excelled at. That's what it showed to me. Forget the superstars. That's the one biggest thing to me from NFL to the NBA. The NFL, an average Joe can go out there can compete, quote unquote, with a superstar. NBA ain't the same thing. So when you sit up there and look at a team that had like a feel good story like the Knicks,
Yeah.
they had a star in Julius Randle. He's not a superstar. Mm-hmm. Where on the flip side of that, you look at Trae Young, who is a superstar, and look at what they was able to do. And it just wasn't those two things. If you took those two guys out the equation, the Hawks still win this series because their team is better constructed versus what New York is. Right. And I think that's what you've seen so far. Miami had a good bubble run last year, but you see just the move of getting Drew Holiday, just that by itself, where they have a true point guard now that can defend and can also get his own buckets, but doesn't care about getting his own buckets. He's more of a traditional two-way true point guard, and that excelled the Bucks to do what they want to do. Let Giannis just run around, Chris Middleton sitting in the corner, and just playing phenomenal for that team. And then to the Mavericks, they hit a little roll because they had the Clippers made a nice adjustment with Rondo and stuff, but I still see the Mavericks getting past them simply because they are constructed better. Yeah, they got two superstars over there, but at the end of the day, I don't trust Paul George in the playoffs.
Pandemic Pete, no longer playoff Pete. Listen, I liked what I've seen so far. Overall, I think the teams who, like Coach alluded to, who've been have the better organizations have came out prosperous. Obviously, we've seen what the Brooklyn Nets did. They played a team and they went out there and won 4-1. Obviously, you've seen what, even without Joel Embiid, you saw what the 76ers had to go do. An elimination game with no Joel Embiid. They came out there, Steph Curry, Tobias Harris came out there, carried the load for them in terms of points, and Ben Simmons doing what he does best on the defensive end and getting people open in the space, and doing what he does best. Everybody, I like what Doc Rivers had to say. Ben Simmons is not a 40-point scorer, but he does so much for his team. You know, on the defensive end and getting people open and creating shots for his team, he does so much. And you got to give the 76ers all kind of credit. Give Trae Young credit. Came out there, game one, put on a show in the Garden. And the Garden was lit. Garden was lit. We talking about they was up to full capacity game one. I mean, game two, they went out there and celebrated like they won the goddamn NBA Finals. Right. out there in MSG. So far, the NBA playoff first round, I've enjoyed it. I think the real series that I think people really need to start paying attention to is Dame Dollar and Nikola Jokic. That Denver-Portland series. I mean, NBA, you got to be down bad for not having that game 5 on. You got to be down bad. I mean, if we're going to sit here and say Nikola Jokic is arguably the MVP in the league, the guy got to be on prime time. The guy got to be on ESPN or TNT. Find a way.
I mean, Dame Dollar, I won't see him.
I want to see him. I want to see him. You talking about 2 clutch shots? To take it to OT and take it to double OT, and the world couldn't see it? It's disappointing. We already know what Dame Dollar is. He's arguably the best point guard, depending on who you're talking to, in the NBA. You know he got arguably one of the best 3-point shots behind Steph Curry in the NBA. And we watched Dame Dollar do this in consecutive other playoff series where he gets game winners. You got to know it's going to be big time box office when Dame Dollar is in situations. To not have that on, disappointed. But that series there has taken a life of its own. I think that series, you watching arguably next year, 2 MVP candidates, if not Jokic, don't win it this year. Need to be on TV. I love to watch that series. But more importantly, got to give it to Utah. Game 1 came out there, no Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell said, you know what, he won't play game 2. And went out there and swept them people, basically. 4-0, or it was 4-1, obviously with no Donovan Mitchell, but Donovan Mitchell came out there. They basically swept the Memphis Grizzlies. So overall, I love what I saw so far in the first round of playoffs.
I think that let's talk about the Suns and the Lakers first. All right, with that series coming into it, I thought it was unfortunate that Chris Paul had to go against the Lakers in the first round after the incredible regular season that they had, getting the second best record in the Western Conference, and you draw LeBron James and Anthony Davis. That's what you do. It's like the NBA guys just keep frowning upon him. Then he gets injured in game 1.
Right.
And it was like, here we go again.
Their own teammate.
Here we go again with Chris Paul. Like, it just not in his favor to make a run to the finals. But they win a game. Then the Lakers come back and win a game. Now Anthony Davis is hurt. They took care of business and won the game the other night. Now they got a pivotal game 6 tonight without Anthony Davis. I'm going to tell y'all right now, what I saw in game 5 from LeBron James shooting 40% of his shots from 3-point range was just unacceptable. You're 6'9", 260, bro. Man, if you don't take Channing Crowder down there to the paint and go get an and one and get to the free throw line every chance you get and then start kicking it out for the open shooters, that's what you got to do, LeBron. Tonight, he got to put his cape on. If you're going to shoot 40 to 45% of your shots from 3-point range, the Lakers they're going to be going fishing tonight. I think that is the thing that, Frank Vogel need to be emphasizing to LeBron tonight. Look, let's get to the paint. Let's get to the rack. Let's stop settling for these jump shots. Dennis Schroeder, as much as I like that pickup, he was abysmal in game 5. Whew, he put up a donut.
With 20 minutes of play.
You didn't even play. You didn't even play to your capabilities. That was big. And I've been saying this all playoffs. Kyle Kuzma has to be the next guy up when Anthony Davis is having a bad game or LeBron's having a bad game. Because he has the capabilities to give you 20 points. He just haven't been doing it. He has been really underachieving all playoffs, in my opinion.
His whole career for me.
Well, I will say this. Because when they was talking about trading Anthony Davis to the Lakers in the beginning, to the Pelicans, I kept saying, why y'all want Brandon Ingram? Get Kuzma. That's what I kept saying, because Kuzma was playing at a high level at that time. But now it looked like it didn't flipped. Brandon Ingram is the one playing at a high level, and looked like Kuzma's career is just like kind of plateaued. It kind of look like he's not even getting better. So I think that's the key tonight for the Lakers. Kuzma has to give him 20-plus points. LeBron has to get to the rack, draw fouls, get to the free throw line, and he has to put that cape on and score about 30 or 35 tonight for them to get to a game 7. The next part of it is this. I'm not at all trying to say that Anthony Davis is faking the injury, because I know he would play if he could.
It's a groin injury.
But at this point, you gotta get shot with a cortisone. you gotta go out there and try to see what is your pain tolerance. You gotta go out, if you can give him at least 15 to 20 minutes tonight. I mean, you can't go out like this. You can't go out like this. You gotta figure out a way. Even if you gotta get on the court and be a decoy, you gotta be on the floor tonight in a closeout game.
But here's the thing: if you go back and if you watch Game 5, to me, if you really watch the Lakers and how they really lost defensively, they were atrocious. Mm-hmm. And we're looking at the team, and you watch with the presence of not having Anthony Davis. We're not talking about the fact that the game that they won, which is 2 and 3, AD dropping 34. Mm-hmm. We're not even talking about that. I watched so many the matchups was such abysmal. I mean, Devin Booker was barbecue chicken. You got KCP and Wesley Matthews out there. It was barbecue chicken. I mean, Cameron Payne was getting to the paint when he wanted to.
Cameron Payne is putting everybody on notice. You know, everybody was talking about Cameron Payne a couple years ago when he kept doing all the dancing
with Westbrook. Yeah.
And Cameron Payne is one of the better role players, one of the better people off the bench in the league right now.
Yeah, and you watching them, they was making layups at will. I mean, I seen the pick and roll where the Morris brother, the Morris twin, was out there on CP3, and he just crossed over, easily. I said, this got to stop. It's the defensive presence without having Anthony Davis is what killed them. Them people were down by 30 in the first half.
Right.
It's the defensive presence, and I don't know what really Frank Vogel can do by not having Anthony Davis. Even if he's on the court, if he can't make the lateral moves, the defensive matchups is still going to be the issue.
Well, you'll just have to hide him. If you put Anthony Davis in the lineup tonight, listen, he has to play tonight. I'm sorry. If Anthony Davis doesn't play tonight,
they're going fishing.
If he's at least 50 to 60%,
call Dion.
He should be playing tonight. That's just my personal opinion. And this is the next part that people not really understanding. And I said this in the offseason. When they let JaVale McGee and Dwight Howard walk, I thought that was a big deal. Even though they got Montrezl Harrell, and I thought Montrezl Harrell was going to bring a different element to the game just as far as his motor and his, he's a good utility guy.
He shits water
He's not even getting minutes.
And bringing Drummond in was good because he's a glass eater and he's good as far as finishing at the rim. But none of those guys are rim protectors like JaVale McGee and Dwight Howard. Not having those guys at the rim with that length to alter shots and get blocks, that's playing a key part into why Chris Paul and DeAndre Ayton is having their way in the paint.
I would say this too. Just going back to what you said about LeBron, shooting 40% of his shots from being jump shots. This shows you how not close to health LeBron is. So he's toughing it out, and I think I can't speak for him, but it just seems like just watching his game this time around, he's afraid to get hurt because he knows if he gets hurt, it's over with. And one of the things that we said in the past on this show, one of the things about playing with LeBron is you always got that cape of I'm comfortable. It's like walking around the house with a blanket. You comfortable because he can do so much. Right. But now he's not at 100%. So now you have to step up your game. And for some of these guys, they just been coasting ever since he put on a Lakers uniform. KCP been coasting. Like he just wanted. He
played good in the bubble.
Because there's no fans. There's no pressure. We ain't got to go nowhere. Like I don't have to worry about nightlife and none of that stuff. The world is open back up now. Now you expected to do more. You can't do more because you sitting here hoping that he takes the right pill and comes back to former LeBron. Father Time is undefeated. Little bumps and bruises when you 20, 21 years old that you could just don't worry about. Now at 36, 37, that's a big problem.
Yeah.
And the next guy has to step up. I don't care if it's 1 or 3. That's the only chance going forward in the playoffs. Even if they make it past the Suns, LeBron and AD will not be 100% until next season. So get it out your head. If you want a ring, you have to prove it. You have to step up. If you want to win this, forget the ring. If you want to win this series, prove your worth.
So in your opinion, right now, just watching this first round matchups, who looks like they have the best chance of holding that Larry O'Brien trophy up in the end?
To me, to be all out honesty, the Sixers or the Bucks.
I mean, with the Sixers, Joel Embiid, day to day. I mean, they say he got a slight torn meniscus, and the last time he did that, was it last or the year before last, he sat out the rest of the year. But I know this is different now because in the playoffs, they got a chance to actually make a run to the finals. I really think it's up in the air.
It's
up in the air. It's really up in the air because if the Lakers lose tonight and the Suns advance,
they going fishing.
Right?
They fishing. They call Dion.
And let's say the Suns advance and the Clippers lose and the Mavericks advance. I mean, this thing really wide open in the West.
Well,
I would say this to Utah's credit, the way they're playing. Now, granted, we playing Memphis here,
right?
But at the same time, what Donovan Mitchell has been back, Jordan Clarkson has still looked like the sixth man of the year, and Rudy Gobert still the rim protector. He's still the defensive player. All the roads to the Western Conference go through Utah, and Donovan Mitchell could still come out here and average 25 to 30. I'm not putting too much stock in what Michael Conley going on, but
on paper, the Suns are the best team. If they get past the Lakers, the Suns gonna be the best team standing.
Depending on the health of Chris Paul.
Right. Because Chris Paul ain't played. He what did he get into the game with 4 points, 6 points?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he had the sting in his arm, and he finished. And he didn't even finish that game. Didn't even know if he gonna play tonight.
Right. I mean, I wouldn't play him tonight.
I wouldn't play him.
You know what I'm saying?
But I think just because of the people y'all naming, to be honest, to me this is the best chance for the East to win, because because
the East have the better teams.
They, personnel wise, I think they have the better problematic matchups. Because if you going into the finals and your best player is Ayton in the post, or Jokic, or Gobert, something like that. On the flip side, you talking about they got to guard Embiid. Even if he's at 60, 70%, he's still a problem. You got to potentially guard a Greek freak that's running. And I'm not letting you stay in the paint. You got to come, because either you let your guard bang out here with me, or Rudy, Jokic, whoever's left standing has to come out here and meet me.
Now, here's the question. No one's mentioned Brooklyn.
I don't believe in Brooklyn. I think Brooklyn's about to go home.
To me,
Anybody go home.
To me, honestly, this is what they did not want. This is what they did
not want. You got
not
to play
want.
the Bucks in the second round.
And this, you could tell by the way that they attacked game 6 against the Celtics. They came out with it on their mind. We have to match this rest, because one, they guys are not 100% healthy, and you coming off of guys that's sitting there, and when you talk to people in the league, people that actually lace them up and play, one of the people that they hate playing against, especially the guard position, they hate playing against Drew Holiday. Whether he was on a great team when he was with Philly, an up and coming team in New Orleans, he's always been a problem. You always going to get his best. You can't come. Look, you can't take Kyrie. Ain't no personal days right here.
Right.
James, depending on what you want, he's going to give you problems. Then at the end of the day, KD is going to have to face the Greek freak. They can throw different bodies at him on defense, but when it comes to the flip around, he's going to have to guard him.
Right.
You can't hide him. Either you're going to be chased. Either one, you're going to chase Chris Middleton around. Two, you're going to have to guard him.
School St. Clair says, if Mike Conley is not injured with the hammy, don't sleep on Utah to win the ship. Utah is deep on the bench more than any team. And then Shannon Odom says, the Bucks Drew changed their culture. And that's what I'll say about the Bucks, what I've been impressed with watching them in the first round. They took Giannis and took him off the perimeter and put him in the post. Now, what has that done? That has made their offense flow so much better because now on the perimeter when Giannis got the ball, all you got to do is just bag up.
Yeah.
Make him shoot the jumper. And then he falls in love trying to prove a point to the rest of the world that he can shoot. He'll hit 2 out of 9, but when it comes down to the get down, when the game's on the line, you can't rely on Giannis to hit that perimeter jump shot. So now what does Budenholzer do? Put him in the post, let him work out the post. Now you got to send 2 people at it because he's going to be bigger, stronger, and more athletic than anybody they put on it.
And then you put foul trouble.
Yeah, you put a real legitimate big on it, he's going to be too fast for him. And now what he's doing? Finding Chris Middleton in the corner.
Right.
All right? Finding Drew Holiday short corner. And now that's opening up for everybody else. And I think that has been the key for the Bucks in that first round. I hope they take that same pedigree and use it against Brooklyn because if they do that, Brooklyn gonna have a long night. We know the Bucks gonna play defense. If they don't do anything else, they gonna lock down defensively. And we know Brooklyn can't stop a nosebleed on defense. So that's why I think the Bucks is about to give these people a lot of problems. I do think it's going 7 games, but I don't see the Bucks losing to these people with how James Harden and Kyrie like to dominate the ball and they play a little too much hero ball. And with KD being so non-confrontational,
Yeah, because he's a superstar role-play mentality.
he's gonna allow Kyrie and James Harden to just do what they do instead of stopping them and saying, look, give me this pill and let me shoot this ball.
Because,
It's my time.
Or move the ball around.
Because they all best friends. Nobody wants to. They don't have that. All right, you the one. I'm gonna look. You need to be the one. They don't have that. Hey, what's the best way for us to win? They have that. What's the best way for me to go off?
Yeah.
And as long as you have that mentality, you're not gonna survive. I don't care how great. It's easy to get away with it when you on Team USA Junior. You got somebody that's gonna play. You got 2 people that's out there playing defense to save their life. Then you got Iguodala coming off the bench to play defense to save their life. You got 2 people. As soon as you step on the court, they in range.
Right.
And I'll say this too. I think it's a real good chance that the Hawks are going to be in the Eastern Conference Finals because of the status of Embiid's knee. Do not be surprised if the Hawks end up in the Eastern Conference Finals. I think whoever wins out of this Bucks and next series is in the finals.
Whew. Y'all give no shot to Brooklyn. I would say this. When it comes
And then I don't trust their coach. You're not a coach. I mean, I'm sorry.
It's not that he's not a coach and he's not a good basketball mind. They're not going to listen to Steve Nash.
that's
They're
the
not
part
gonna
of
listen.
me.
If Steve Nash say, Kyrie, we're going to run this play, come down off this pin down, allow him to come off, hit him in stride, blah, blah, blah. Kyrie going to say, all right. And then when he get on the court, he going to do what he want to do. And guess what? He's not going to be held accountable for
To me, there's a lot of people with great basketball minds that's not coaching in the NBA. Most of, you know what I'm saying, most people don't elevate in coaching because, look, they don't have that, this guy going to listen to me. Paul Silas wasn't the sexiest coach out there, but one thing he did when he put on that Georgetown-like suit, he demand respect, and whatever he called, you was going to do it. Right, wrong, look, you was going to do it.
With the Nets, I'm telling you right now, I know KD and Kyrie are close, but KD and Steve Nash are pretty close too. You know, Steve Nash was training them in the offseason and stuff like that.
He was also part of that Golden State as a consultant there when he was there.
And what you're gonna see is when they start having, I'm telling you, it's coming. When you start seeing issues in this Bucks series where, you know, James Harden and Kyrie are not sticking to the script, it's gonna have a meeting after the meeting.
Right.
KD and Steve Nash gonna be side texting. They're gonna be having side meetings talking about how we gonna get these guys to get on the same page and stick to what we need to do to be able to beat these people. And it's gonna all fall apart, and they're gonna lose in 7.
Yeah, well, to me, it might be when that happens. Some brown noses that's sitting there that at the end of the bench that's sitting there with Steve Nash, and like man, and go up to whoever his friend is. If it's James Harden, hey, look, KD said that he not getting the shots to start the game like he's supposed to. So now, What's that gonna do? He gonna turn into 2 things. Keep giving you the ball, and I'm not gonna be in rhythm. I'm not engaged in the game. Oh, you want me to take the shot? Nah, you said you wanted the shot. Boom. You know, it's gonna fall apart because there's no leadership.
I would say
in
this.
that organization as of right now.
I would say this, and I would agree with both what y'all saying. If Brooklyn loses this series, especially if they can't take it 7, it's gonna be a media frenzy. And here's the main reason why. You got Kevin Durant, who's arguably some people's best player in the world. You got James Harden, who's arguably most people's top 5 best player in the world. Now, obviously, you got Kyrie Irving, who's a superstar point guard. You got all this stuff that you constructed together. Whether Steve Nash is a credible head coach or going to be or not, it's completely irrelevant. When you going to probably have, to me, LeBron James is going fishing. Him and AD about to call Dion. They about to go in the water. They about to go fishing. You're about to have, if that guy loses the series too, then you're going to have guys who are normally superstars, who normally carry the weight of the playoffs, not participate. We understand why the Lakers are going to lose. Anthony Davis probably not going to play, and LeBron James in year 18 and played the most minutes of anybody who ever played the history of the game. It's arguable why they're going to lose. Them people in Brooklyn got a reason shot in hell of why people don't understand. We know why they're not going to probably win this series.
So, Fred, do you think they're going to win? Yes or no?
They're losing 7.
Oh.
They're losing 7.
Okay.
They're losing 7.
Okay.
They're losing 7.
I'm surprised at your position.
They're losing 7.
I'm surprised at your position.
They're losing 7. And the main reason it comes down to me is going to come down to matchup and coaching. And that's the part I think that's going to be the tail of the tape when it's all said and done. It's going to come down to matchup basketball down in the last 4 minutes. And to me, Steve Nash is not coachable. He's not the coach that I think that in the last 4 minutes to coach situation of basketball.
It's not. See, I agree with what you're saying, but I'm disagreeing with the perspective that you're coming with, far as him not being able to draw something up or put him in good situations. It's not gonna come down to that.
He's not gonna listen to him.
It's gonna come down to
Listen to him.
Will they listen to him? And I said this from the beginning. When they first started trying to construct this team, I said, man, if I'm the next ownership, there's only one coach in the league that I'm going to get to try to make all this come together, and that's Greg Popovich. Greg Popovich, probably the only coach in the league that can get Westbrook, Kyrie Irving, and James Harden to conform. If it ain't somebody to that degree, to that kind of that caliber of coach, people not about to listen to you. It ain't gonna happen. So when it get down to crunch time and Steve Nash telling them this, or they in film and trying to game plan for something, everything that he's saying is going in one ear, out the other to James Harden and Kyrie Irving. They gotta have an agenda. They're gonna do it their way. They're gonna keep doing it their way, and that's why they're gonna lose in 7. It's not gonna come down to Steve Nash's basketball mind. He has an excellent basketball mind. He knows the game probably better than a lot of greats that didn't play the game. Mm-hmm. But the fact of the matter is, he doesn't know how to handle those kind of alpha males. And when you can't handle those kind of alpha males, it's gonna blow up in your face. Bucks in 7. I'm woke.
Ooh. Well, I ain't sleep either, motherfucker. Goddamn Bucks and 5. Shit.
Ooh, I got Bucks and 7. We gonna switch gears. Speaking about coaches, we got bombs over Baghdad in Boston, baby. We got Danny Ainge calling the quits, and we got Brad Stevens getting promotions, and we got a head coaching job, the first one in the NBA right now, over there in Boston. What's y'all take on who's gonna be the next Boston head coach? Who you think Brad Stevens is in the market for to make the next head coach of the Boston Celtics?
Can we talk about how this not have Hugh Freeze vibes? Am I the only one that's feeling it? This happened too damn fast. You lose in 30 minutes, he quit, and in 45 minutes he not only the new. First of all, this is man's first ever.
This
NBA
ain't a
job.
bad page, baby. This got nothing to do with bad page, baby.
This is his first ever NBA job.
Plenty of fish.
And then he go from NBA coach to NBA, not only
Team
GM, team president, top dog next to the owner.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, so it's some type of black book that Brad Stevens didn't drop in front of these people.
Well, as I've been keeping up with this story and researching it, everything that I've been reading and hearing is that him and the team is just they're not bonding. They're not, it's
bumping
Stevens,
heads.
some kind of Stevens and the team. They just haven't been clicking together the last couple of years. And it's unfortunate because, and people, they saying that the Celtics been underachieving. The Celtics been in the conference finals. Well, last year they lost in the first round. But the year before that, they had been to the conference finals the last 5 years. So I don't think that's underachieving. They just happen to have to go against LeBron James. Okay? So I don't know why people say they're underachieving. You got Tatum, you got Jaylen Brown, you added Kemba Walker. They have a good team. It's just unfortunate that Jaylen Brown hurt his wrist. Tatum got hurt in one of the games. So for Brad Stevens to still be able to have the level of success that he has had since he's been with the Celtics, right, I think that's pretty impressive. To say that he hasn't been bonded with the team, to say they're not on the same page. And so, but I do think it's something else going on behind the scenes that hasn't come out yet. It's going to come out probably sometime in February next year, and they're going to say, oh, Brad Stevens and Tatum couldn't see eye to eye. Or something's going to come out why this is happening. I know Danny Ainge alluded to saying that, he has his grandkids getting older. He wants to spend more time with his grandkids. He wants to spend more time with his family. I just don't buy it.
No.
I just don't buy it.
It's a PR answer.
You've been in the NBA as a player in the front office for 30 plus years. Don't tell me nothing about now you talking about spending time with your family. You didn't figure this out way 10 years ago when you became the GM as the Celtics for the Celtics. So using that as a reason why you getting out of team president, I'm not buying it.
It's a PR answer.
I'm not buying it.
It's a PR answer, and that's just the bottom line to it. At the end of the day, here's my misunderstanding. If Brad Stevens is not getting what he wants on the floor, then why are you putting him in office?
I do think Brad Stevens is a great basketball mind, though. I think
That's not what I'm saying.
I think he's a great evaluator of talent. I think he understands on how to construct a team and put them together. I think he's going to do fine in a front office position. It's just, I want to know the why. I'm a big why guy. I want to know why. Why has this happened the way it has happened?
I just from a coaching side of it, just speaking from a coaching side of it, I know we didn't, like, everybody was going all crazy like when they got Gordon Hayward, right? And
I think that's part of why the team got divided too.
But one day that you could see, since Gordon Hayward hadn't been there, the ball movement hasn't been as crisp. Mm-hmm. We went on and on about how great of a coach Brad Stevens is, mainly because of his system, right? And the league is built on systems. Now, I think one of the things that might have been button head is you got players that don't fit in your system that you're trying to make work, but you're trying to make them bend the knee, as we will, to your system. And you see it's not going nowhere. They see it's not going nowhere. In the NBA, unlike the NFL, the stars have the power. You got two button superstars coming up and like, hey, this is not well. You know what? I can't get y'all what y'all want, because this is the way I do basketball. Mm-hmm. But what I can do, I can step back in this role. All right, I could put A, B, and C together with y'all and let y'all do basketball the way that y'all see fit. I think it's mutual in that aspect, but it's something, to me, it's just something very fishy on the why of Danny Ainge. Maybe the Celtics brass say, look, we don't want this coach to go nowhere else and do what he's, like you said, 5 straight conference finals. The last two, and you had major injuries. The last two you had major injury. Everything since you left Butler and stepped foot into the NBA has been strictly positive. So no, we don't want to go against that, especially against a team that fully goes with what you got going. So let's move you to a spot that you graded, because you was a great college basketball coach. I mean, you had to be able to recruit. You had to be able to build a talent. And you was competing against blue bloods with mediocre talent, if you will.
I'll make this point, and I think this is a crucial dynamic that people got to understand, especially when you're talking about the NBA, let alone college and high school. When Stevens first kind of took over the Celtics and he acquired Tatum in the draft, Jaylen Brown, okay, Terry Rozier,
Yeah.
Those guys were some young punks trying to prove themselves. So I think they bought into Brad Stevens' system more so when they first got into the league.
Right.
But what has happened? Tatum has emerged as a superstar. Jaylen Brown has emerged as a star. Terry Rozier emerged as a star and got his money from Charlotte.
Right.
Okay. You add Kemba Walker, who you know was a big time player for Charlotte when he was there. He comes in with a $90 million deal. So now what happens?
He started coaching guys with high contracts and
Egos
expectations.
come into play.
Expectations.
Tatum, instead of Tatum walking in with all ears, now Tatum is walking in like, man, we're gonna do this my way. Or I'm gonna do it with how it's gonna benefit me. Jaylen Brown, he's trying to get to that next contract. That's what I think is happening right now. And that's why you see, like you just said, the ball not moving like it was.
Right.
You don't see the camaraderie.
He's
in
not
their
coaching the
offense.
guys who are a bunch of sponges anymore.
Things have changed.
Things have changed.
Things
Things are showing.
And I think Brad Stevens is struggling with that, which is why they haven't had that team chemistry. So he's going to the front office. So, but like I said, I think it's a little more deeper than that, and it's probably going to come to surface.
And I think that has
Sooner
something,
than later.
that has something to allude to when you talking about, listen, obviously when you bring in, let's use an example, Gordon Hayward, obviously he coached him at Butler, you bring this guy in, obviously you can get a chance to re-sign that guy. Terry Rose, think about it, the Celtics' best season is the year they took LeBron 7 games, but Kyrie Irving was not part of that situation at all.
Right.
That's when we looked at the Celtics and say, okay, the Celtics are maybe
That's when Jaylen Brown and Tatum started emerging.
They were young.
They were young. There was a bunch of sponges, and they were soaking everything in.
He had Alec Olynyk playing out of his mind. I mean, not Alec Olynyk, Kelly.
Kelly Olynyk playing out of his mind. Kelly Olynyk is no longer there. He got the money and went to Miami. So you had some changes, obviously coaching the personnel and Kyrie Irving, getting them out of here, bringing Kemba Walker in, not, already being an all-star within himself, getting paid this money. Now these guys are not the same sponges you're used to coaching. These guys have grown up, got used to the life of the NBA, the stardom of the NBA now, and they know who they are as players now. So now, and we started when we started to take a dive for being the third seed in the Eastern Conference, going down to playing in the bubble and playing in the play-in tournament. We're like, damn, what's going on in Boston? What's some of the conflict? Guys are probably not buying into what's going on. And you could tell that him and Danny Ainge probably not being spoken, but behind the scenes, this is all steamrolling. And obviously, the injury to Brown, we kind of have a situation where, okay, look, they're going against Brooklyn, and Brooklyn is healthy. They may not overcome. And that's what happened. Tatum came out there with a 50 burger. They won him a game. He came out there with a 40 burger, came up short. And so now all this is steamrolled, and obviously immediately after the loss, you got this guy retiring. You got this guy being promoted to the front office. I think the ownership has something to do with this situation going on too, and no one's speaking about it. No one's saying nothing. All we want to talk about is who the next coach going to be.
And I think this has been premeditated. I think this is
been in the works.
Like Stevens and Danny Ainge, they've been talking about this. Look, we probably ain't gonna win it all.
Yeah.
So whenever we do lose in the playoffs, we're gonna come out and make this statement that I'm stepping down and we promoting you to the team president. And
Who you think the coach could be?
that's what I was just about to allude to. The four candidates they've been talking about is Jason Kidd, Chauncey Billups, Sam Cassell.
What about Lloyd Pierce? They got 5 from Atlanta.
Oh, I didn't hear that name.
He's one of them. Like he is like on the bottom end of it.
Yeah.
To me, honestly, just to be realistic, it should be Jason Kidd.
I'm rooting for Chauncey Billups. I mean, you gave Steve Nash a damn contract to go coach Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and James Harden, and he ain't never coached a day in his life. Chauncey Billups,
NBA Junior 2.0.
Chauncey Billups should be the candidate to get this job, and he would be going into a great situation. You're gonna have Jaylen Brown, you're gonna have Tatum and Kemba Walker. You got something to work with. Put him in that situation. I think Chauncey Billups gonna have a lot of success with this team.
But see, this is my thing. This like just for Chauncey, this guy's interviewed for GM spots. It's hard to almost have all that power and then go to.
You talking about Chauncey Billups?
Mm-hmm.
Well, think about it. Steve
Steve
Kerr
Kerr did it.
Steve Kerr was a GM with the Suns.
Yeah,
then
he was a GM and then like
Became a coach.
He didn't just walk into like he didn't just. It's not like he was the GM with the with the Spurs. No. Was it Spurs?
He's
Suns.
Suns.
It's not like he was the GM with the Spurs and became the head coach for the Charlotte Bobcats. he went from that to looking at the team that Mark Jackson put
Constructed.
together, and he say, "She, I could do something with that," and went that, and not like he went to a horrible roster. He left a situation that he was kind of getting beat up on.
So you
and
don't-
went to a good situation.
So you don't think Chauncey is capable of?
No. To me, the capability is like I compare it to like Louis Riddick when it comes to NFL. If somebody if they asked Louis Riddick to interview for a head coach job, I think he'll do it just out of professional courtesy. But this man has been interviewing for GM
jobs.
spots.
Yeah.
Like had Mike Maylock come out of nowhere, he would be the GM for the Raiders. So like you go from to me like that's a
you see a better position him.
that's a different type of mindset. Like I've been preparing myself to interview to construct stuff, not actually day to day coaching. Running in, like not saying that he gonna would I believe he'll fail at it? Absolutely not. I think he's a guy that should have been gotten an opportunity like that. I just think that's just like if you've been interviewing for CEO spots and then somebody come up and say, "Hey, I got this manager spot for you." It's still a important role, but it's like that's a big drop of what I've been preparing myself for this past couple of years.
Now Shannon Odom says that Ainge lost the players when he said he never had a racist comment in Boston. Never heard a racist comment in Boston. He needed to go.
He ain't lying. Shannon ain't lying on that one because if I can hear it on ABC, in no way in hell you can't hear the goddamn press box. When you in the press box, you sit by the people that got everything to say. They don't have no etiquette up there.
Yeah. So you root for Jason Kidd to get the job?
I think
because
Sam
like
Cassell.
had he not had his issue,
Sam Cassell.
had he not have his issue, it's like that's a proven guy. Like in the league, like look what his team was doing before his off the court.
I just would love to see Chauncey Billings get that job. I think he would do a really good job relating to the players. Get them to buy in. He won a championship with the Pistons.
He's highly respected.
And he just have a great basketball mind. When you hear him talk, when he's on first take off, he's on the jump. He just does a great job of breaking down the game and making it make sense. And I think he would do the same thing with the Celtics, and he would get Tatum and Jaylen Brown and Kimba to reach their full potential as a team.
To me,
I think Sam Cassell pays his dues. I think he's been around coaches for a long time. He's been, following Doc now since time in Boston, moving to LA, and now moving to the 76ers. I just think that he's earned the opportunity. So to me, Sam Cassell.
To me, this ain't an earn your opportunity roster. You earn your opportunity. We're going. Let me see what you can do with the Magic. Let me see what you can do with the Bobcats. This team is proven. Like it's put together already. You need something proven. But to me, I think the biggest thing is who aligns with Brad Stevenson's the best. I think that's what it all gonna come down to. Because if I can't go in here saying I want to do it this way, and this guy saying, look, I don't believe in spending money. So whoever, regardless of the coach, now, I think like I said, I think Kidd and Chauncey are like to me it's 1A 1B. You can't go wrong with those two. To me, Sam Cassell, even though Chauncey hasn't been in that fire, but still. He doesn't get asked to come sit in and talk to different coaches for a reason. He doesn't get asked to come sit and talk to different GMs and being asked to interview for different GM spots for a reason. He's highly respected. No issues that we know of. But it doesn't matter if they don't align with what Brad Stevens' vision for the team is.
And who knows? I don't recall really Nick Nurse getting an extension over there in Toronto.
But
won the NBA Finals. I mean, listen, throw the bag. Nick Nurse is a heck of a coach.
But he came out like Kawhi doesn't go there in the trade and all that stuff. We don't know who Nick Nurse is. Let's just be honest. Let's just be honest about it. You don't know who coaching the Raptors right now.
Yeah, but at the end of the day,
It happened.
the resume happened, and Tyronn Lue got a head coach job because he won a championship in Cleveland. So yeah, at the end of the day, we can't take away from Nick Nurse is that he's an NBA championship coach.
That's the end of it. Because, I mean, think about it. But that's the same roster that David Blatt had. David, far as coaching wise, his resume is impeccable. Especially overseas. Like
That was the Wayne Casey job over in Toronto.
He is the Greg Popovich of overseas basketball, which is bigger than the NBA, but this is where the money is. So
Right.
but what happened? His ideas didn't fall in line with
LeBron.
Right.
LeBron and David Griffin. Like, and he barely made a year.
Right.
He barely made a year. So, but Tyronn Lue, players coach. Hey, I didn't been on the roster before with a superstar. I didn't been coaching with superstars. I'm a good player
Right.
liaison.
I'm just saying that they got some selections out there, but moving on. Obviously, throughout this NBA playoffs, I want to touch on some. Obviously, we've been witnessing some things from fans. Fans, obviously, the Kyrie Irving incident where the bottle of water was thrown at him. Obviously, the big one was the Russell Westbrook. The incidents keep occurring where, fans are just now very fans. Like they just throw a water bottle, throw popcorn on the player, and push them in.
Are they getting charged?
Nope.
They're not getting charged. Like, not even a misdemeanor.
I
think that should definitely be.
The guy in Boston, the fan in Boston got arrested. I don't know if he was charged with anything, but he was definitely
Yeah,
arrested.
you should be charged. You should be charged with a misdemeanor. If you do anything, spit, throw, swing a punch, you should be charged with a misdemeanor. I'm sorry. I think that'll make fans think twice about doing anything stupid. Nah. Will stuff still happen sometimes? Probably so, because you're going to have some people that's going to be at these games that's drunk, under the influence and stuff like that. But it's going to make a lot of them think twice about it.
Yeah.
Right now, if you throw a water bottle or you do something crazy to the game, the most that's going to happen is you probably get banned from the arena.
Right.
Who cares? That's probably their first game they ever went to anyway. So I think you got to put that in place. Make people more mindful of what they're doing. Make them think about the consequences. Just getting arrested or and bringing them to jail and they got a bond out for $300. That's not nothing.
Slap on the wrist to most of them.
Just give them a serious charge, and where they have to, get charged with a misdemeanor, where they have to go to court. And I think you'll see more fans think twice about doing something stupid in the game.
I think the NBA need to really take this serious because the reality is that you don't want a Malice in the Palace playoff edition. It's coming to that. For y'all be fans thinking that these NBA players don't have hands, think again.
That's Jermaine O'Neal.
Yeah. Go ask Jermaine O'Neal. Y'all, they keep playing. The NBA needs to get this under control. Adam Silver, you need to come out here, make a statement, and make it very public and make it fast because fans are getting out. Now you're back at full capacity in some of these states. We already know in Phoenix they're in full capacity. We already know they're in New York back at full capacity. You're going to get to a place where one of these fans going to feel like some type of way they dislike this player, don't like what this guy do, or whatever the case may be. And what's going to happen is one of these fucking players ain't going to take that. They're going to be in a situation where the security guard ain't close by. I got enough distance between me and you to go do something. And at the end of the day, they're going to test the wrong player. I think they tested the wrong player in Russell Westbrook. It just so happened he be coming out of the tunnel. I think if they'd have caught him a little differently, where the security went close to him, we're going to catch a round.
Right.
And so if you don't want to avoid a Malice in the Palace playoff edition, I think you need to come out there. The NBA and Adam Silver need to make a statement and make sure it's final, make sure it's permanent. If you come out there and you do something against the fans, against players and this misconduct, we're pressing charges. You're liable to lose your job.
Yeah.
You're going to be in jail possibly up to 30 days, and we're going to enforce this charge. Yeah. They got to do something to these fans because at the end of the day, I'm not saying it's a privilege to come watch a game. I get it. You paid your money. But at the same time, these players don't know you. They don't know who you are. They're out here to do their jobs. So get under control.
To me, I think you hit the nail on the head. This is a job. Well, the NBA, the players are your employees. Protect your investment. So the NBA is the only sport where fans are that close to players. Make it I know it might not look the best and all that stuff, but just to save yourself the embarrassment, because if one of these guys run up and hit a player or something like that, and the other kid, the player retaliates, guess what? Just like people forget about the Malice of the Palace, the aftermath of it. People forget that Ron Artest was getting sued, Steven Jackson was getting sued, Jermaine O'Neal was getting sued because all they talk about was the fight. They ain't talk about the after part where, hey, this lawyer, and he presented a good case. Hey, look, this guy is 6'7". This guy, he felt threatened. He, said, however lawyers want to spin it, like the legal loophole. So look, make your NBA arenas kind of like hockey arenas. Put the parchment up. I'm not a hockey fan, but I know like it doesn't change the decimals or all the home court advantage. People will still be banging on the thing. Protect your investment. That's all I'm saying. Put up something to where now we all been in NFL games. You know how hard it is for a player to get on, for a person to get on the field, even in the front row seats. That's a long jump down if you want to do that. You got so and then it's like another 50, 60 yards from the protective barrier to actual where you can get to players. Do that, and you take it all. You take all that part out of it. That's what I'm saying. Just be smart, because what you would hate to happen is for quote unquote one of your star players to get hurt by this and be like career ending type deal.
Well, that's what Michael Thomas said. One of these days, a player may actually get hurt from a crazy fan. You just don't know. Adam Silver needs to get, if he don't have anything else to do, this is something that he needs to get the Bulls by the horns on, especially going to the next round, because obviously now, like I said, you got more cities opening up. You got fans now going back to full capacity. We're getting back to normal situation. And at the end of the day, you had several incidents where fans just felt like they had the permission because they paid for a ticket to go in there and feel whatever they want to feel and, do what they want to do. To avoid that, I suggest you go ahead and get that out the way, put some rules in place, some permanent rules, not just for this postseason, but permanently. And that way, fans have an understanding when you come inside these arenas, this is what you can't do. Bottom line, if you don't take care of it now, it's going to bite you in the long run. But I want to move forward. I want to talk some college basketball. Talk greatness. Just greatness. That's all we want to talk about is greatness, Coach N.
That's all we want to do. We just want to give the man his due. His dues. Now, y'all know what we talking about. We talking about the greatest, most influential coach to ever lace him up and wear a blazer or a suit on the sidelines after 41 years of greatness. In year 42, Coach K will be hanging it up. Jeremiah Gray. Y'all know when I say the first name, I mean business. Tell us about the great legacy of the great Michael Krzyzewski.
I mean, he's 76 years old. He need to retire. Nobody listening to him no more, man. He can't relate to the players. They're getting all these one and dones coming in there. He can't even communicate with these kids like he used to be able to do 10, 12 years ago. He texting kids, they ain't texting him back. This past season camp, Jalen Johnson just left in the middle of the season.
He wasn't doing nothing with it.
It don't matter. Jamin Brayfield left transfer to Ole Miss. I mean, it's just bad all the way around the board with what's going on in the Duke program. It's about to get to the point where it's going to be mediocre again like it was before he got there. Coach K, you had a nice run. I respect you. You're one of the greats. You're not the great, but you're one of them. John Wooden is the great. Don't act stupid. But I do respect what he has done for the game of college basketball. I do respect how people like LeBron James and Kobe Bryant really look up to Coach K and take his advice. But times have changed, and he can't evolve with the times. Just like Roy Williams got out. Now it's time for Coach K to get out. it's just a different dynamic what's going on in today's society with these kids. You got these kids skipping college to go to the G League. You got kids quitting on them in the middle of the season. You got kids that's about to start getting paid for their name, image, and likeness starting in August. Things are about to change. Coach K will not be able to adapt. So it's good he getting out before it's too late. Nah, he has a great team coming in this upcoming season. On paper, they should have a good chance to win it all, but they won't because he won't be able to relate to them.
Remind the good fans.
I'm woke.
Remind the good
I am woke.
fans out there who your college basketball team is. For the sake of the show.
What does that have to do with Coach K retirement?
I'm just asking for the sake of the show.
What does that have to do
for
with
the
Coach
sake
K
of the
retirement?
show? And tell the good people.
What does that have to do with Coach K retirement?
Are you ashamed to say your program?
What does that have to do that he underachieved
Louisville
when he had Zion Williamson, Cam Reddish, and R.J. Barrett all on the same team and they couldn't even make it to the Final Four?
Look, this
Answer
man,
that.
this man,
Answer that.
this man's
Answer that.
favorite coach.
Answer that.
Pay for it.
Answer that. Answer that.
His favorite coach is the fan.
Had the
of
best recruiting class in the history of the game and couldn't get to the Final Four. You know why?
This
Because he
man
couldn't communicate with him.
this
You know why?
man-
Because he couldn't
right.
relate to him.
Ladies and
you know
gentlemen
why?
of the
'Cause they don't
jury.
text him back.
the man to the left of us.
You know why? Because
The man-
R.J. Barrett daddy ran the practice and
The man-
dictated a
the-
lot that was going on.
The man
That's
to the
why.
left of us.
You know why?
is
Because Zion's
his
stepdaddy.
head
He's
coach.
coming to practice and do what he want and come
His
as he
head
please on the phone.
coach.
That's why.
His head coach is the fan of the Soldier Slim. I pay for it. Fan club. The Mr. Stripper Man
Now, while you
himself.
talking, Rick Pitino, the only coach in history that take 3 different universities to the Final Four.
What, did he win them?
Huh?
Did he win it all 3?
He won 2.
But he
two
didn't win
different
3.
schools.
K didn't need 3 schools.
He needed 1.
41 seasons at one place. It's called Coach K's court.
No, listen. Rick Pitino, only reason that happened because Rick Pitino left when he was dominating at Kentucky. He left and went to the Boston Celtics because they were giving him that bread. Then he came back, went to Louisville and won a
He
championship.
did like his counterpart, Bobby Petrino. Won't leave for the league. Went to the Falcons.
You got to pay real money
Yeah,
for
man,
strippers up here. Let me go back to the budget strippers. Ooh, recruitment party. Here we go. Coming that dash like Roy Williams. Hey, y'all say strippers. Hey.
There you go.
Stop the madness. Wake up.
Greatness. Only coach in college basketball here to have 1,000 wins.
Own it.
Only.
He been coaching for 42 years.
I don't care. Own it.
42 years.
Own it.
Any other coaches got their own court? No.
Wait.
Tom Izzo got his own court.
No, he
Don't he?
No.
You sure?
No. Then they caught Magic before the name of the time is over. I thought you was woke. You over there sleep driving.
Sleep. 5 national champions.
Listen, I'm gonna just go ahead and say it.
5.
I'm gonna just go ahead and say it.
Five.
I think Coach K is one of
5.
the greatest coaches to ever come in college basketball. But I think he overrated. I just think he overrated. I think that I'm gonna tell you something else that I have a problem with a lot of Duke fans, preferably y'all. If you go back and look at the history of the kids that went to Duke, why they don't pan out like that in the league?
Man,
Grant Hill's a Hall of Famer.
Man,
I'm gonna name the Greeks. I'm gonna name the Greeks in my opinion.
You want to talk about Christian Laettner,
Grant Hill.
Hall of Famer.
I don't count Kyrie Irving because he only played 5 games.
It don't matter what you count. The boy college. The boy went to Duke.
Kyrie Irving. I mean not Kyrie.
Superstar. Superstar.
Grant Hill.
Hall of Famer.
Uh,
Hall of Famer. Hall of Fame Grant Hill.
You really stopping there?
who else?
You really
Who else?
stopping there?
Stop.
Name Louisville players.
We talking about Duke.
No,
okay?
no,
We're talking about Duke.
If you gonna talk about Duke,
Grant Hill,
start
Hall of
start
Famer.
right. Say it
Who
right.
else?
Christian Laettner.
Christian Laettner.
Christian
Corey
Laettner.
Elton Brand.
Corey
Elton
McGetty.
Brand.
Corey McGetty.
Corey McGetty.
Shane Batty Yay.
Did they career pan
All
out?
those Boozer. All-star.
Man.
What did all-star?
Jason Williams.
I get Jason Williams. Jason Williams was
The
in
motor. Hey, the
Jason
only
Williams-
that stopped him was the motorbike.
Jason Williams.
The
No.
motorbike.
Before the motorbike,
The
Jason Williams went
motorbike.
to a deep depression when he was with the Bulls. He couldn't even hit a jump shot. Couldn't even hit a free throw.
I'm gonna
Stop
say,
it.
I'm gonna
Stop
say,
it.
we talking college.
Jason
That just
Tatum.
do you have
I'll give you that one.
do
Tatum.
you have the same talk about Nick Saban when it comes to Alabama players in the league? Do you? No, you do not.
My point is,
You don't talk about Christian. You don't talk about D. I can't guard a fly Miller.
answer my question. These boys coming as 5 stars and ranked top 5 in the country, but when they leave Duke,
They become superstars in the league.
who?
Zion's a superstar. Jason Tatum is a superstar.
Zion Williamson, Jason Tatum,
Grant
Grant
Hill.
Hill, who else?
Hall of Famer.
Name the rest.
What you mean name the rest?
Name them.
JJ Redick played 10 seasons.
Stop.
He
Stop.
played 10 seasons.
I don't care.
What you mean?
I don't care.
Name a Louisville
He,
person.
he wasn't a player he was at Duke.
Name a Louisville person.
They had great players at Duke.
Why they don't get to the league and be superstars like that?
Because we draft, we get people for our system. That's all it is to.
No, I'm gonna tell you what it is. He messes up these kids. Like, I'm gonna give you an example. Chris Duhon, probably the best high school player I ever seen with my own eyes. I've been watching basketball since 1995. Chris Duhon should have never went to Duke. You know why?
He wanted to win.
Coach K changed his jump shot,
And he did.
He won.
made and
Best
changed his,
team he ever coached. by the way,
changed his
2001.
whole game. Changed his whole game.
Michael Dunleavy.
Changed his whole game. Another
Boozer.
one was ranked
Boozer.
top 10 in the country.
Dante Jones.
Went to the league and was a role player.
Dante Jones.
Another one. Like, stop, don't call him. He transferred.
Man,
different
I don't
records.
care if he's a
matter.
transfer, transfer,
He's on
whatever,
championship team.
JUCO, whatever.
They don't pan out. They don't be
Championship.
superstars like that in the league.
They don't have to be superstars.
Yeah, they do.
No, they
Yeah,
don't.
Yeah, they do.
That's just
Yeah,
like
they do.
saying everybody that step foot at North Carolina got to be a superstar.
Not North Carolina got way more superstars that it came.
Ain't no way, Mo.
That's like saying
You have,
that's
you
like
got
saying
Michael
everybody.
Jordan.
You got James Worthy.
He going back to 1984.
Yeah,
It don't matter. Coach K been coaching since '79.
No, he
They're two different
but he-
coaches.
But he ain't
It don't matter.
He
It
ain't
don't matter.
He
It don't
beat-
matter.
Smith Rowe.
Why North Carolina players turn out to be better players when they get to the league than
Only-
Duke players?
James Warden,
James Worthy, the Vince Carter.
Vince Carter,
Jerry
Rasheed
Stackhouse?
Wallace. Rasheed
Wallace?
Jerry Stackhouse. Is Jerry Stackhouse, Grant Hill.
What happened to
Stop
McCann?
it.
What happened to
Stop.
McCann? Sean Mayne? Raymond Felton?
Joe Fortier.
Y'all naming one little group of players.
Tyler Lawson? Tyler Hasbro? Wagner? Let's keep going on.
Keep going.
What
Keep
you
going.
mean?
I'm go through the history.
I'm going through the history.
I'm going through the 41 years that this man been there.
And I'm saying this, that the players
Trajan landed. I'm talking strictly in NCAA. The Alaska to Saska, baby. You were
why
watching
when
that
they get to the league, they don't be the same.
because they're not in the comforts of Coach Caden.
What?
Cameron Indoor is a magical place, baby. You ever been there? Ooh. Ooh.
I'm speaking facts.
I'm speaking facts.
Speaking facts.
Look, it's a reason why Jerry
still have
Colangelo could have went to Rick Pitino. He didn't. He could have went to Jim Boeheim. He didn't. He could have went to Bobby Knight. He didn't. He could have went to Roy Williams. He didn't. He could have went to Bill Self. He didn't. He could have went to Tom Izzo. He didn't. Who is the first call he made? Coach K, I need you, baby. Came on. Took Team USA,
I'm not.
who was in a depression, a horrible state. We losing to Greece,
Went from Dream Team to
to
losers.
to Snooze Team,
I'm not.
and we
listen,
went and
I'm
we
not
rolled with it.
disputing that Coach K.
Grant Popovich
I'm not saying
calls
Coach K,
his man to come talk to his team.
I'm not saying Coach K is not,
Phil
is not a
Jackson.
great coach.
Mr.
not-
Triangle himself
I'm not
called
saying
this man.
Coach K can't lead a team or can't have success because obviously he's had it.
National title.
What all I'm saying is I think he's a tad overrated when it comes to where his players go and how they end up being when they leave college to go to the league.
He can't control guys good. at
Yeah, you
professional
can
level.
control it. You can
No,
control
you
it.
can't.
You can
How?
control it. You ain't gonna control all of them, but your percentages could be way better.
What you mean?
What you mean? What I
I just
mean?
named you the All-Stars. You got a Hall of Famer.
You got one Hall of Famer.
So what?
It's
He's a
Duke.
Hall
It's
of
Duke.
Famer.
You got one Hall of Famer.
Look,
One?
let's be.
He's got a Hall of Fame.
I'm gonna be real with you. He took a program that was nothing, turned it into a blue blood, not an orange blood, not a purple blood, not a pink blood, but a blue goddamn blood.
He did a great job.
He is
a dynasty.
for decades. He was the face
Of
of
college
college basketball. People
Basketball.
know Coach K worldwide, a college coach.
People know North Carolina
No,
Jordan.
no off the court issues.
People know about
Oh.
North Carolina to Dean Smith.
Also, y'all think he just
Hey.
a coincidence he retiring right now?
Hey.
They got
What you mean?
he got a lot of
No.
allegations
Hey.
going on.
No blemishes.
Man, how no blemishes? They
No
talking about
Stop. They got
Is
all
it-
kind of
where
stuff going
is
on.
it? Prove it.
They gave Zion them a lot of money now. Allegation.
Did
They
it
gave
come?
Zion
Did
them
it
a lot of
come
money
from?
now.
Did it come from? Did it come from Cocaine Pocket?
No. Came out of his program.
Did it come out of his
him
pocket?
Him and Nike had a deal.
It didn't come
with
out-
Zion.
did
They
it
gave
come out of
Zion
his
them over
pocket?
$300,000.
Did it come out of his pocket?
Stop it, man.
No.
Stop
Just
it, man.
because your coach got caught pants down, money in his hand, cigar out,
No, he never got
tricking,
caught. He never got caught.
tricking if he
My
got
bad.
it.
His staff
He
got
never got
tricking.
caught.
Oh.
His staff got caught.
Oh,
He never got
wiretaps.
Wiretaps, Adidas. Whole
They
nine
make
yards.
y'all blue.
Y'all
chip-
had the feds on
Yeah, y'all blue chips number 2.
The feds.
Will Wade was on the wild tap, not Rick Pitino.
Shit, his staff. Was.
His staff was.
Yeah, not him though.
Why he took the lick then?
Bobby Curley.
Bobby Hurley what? But too far.
So on, boy, he won the fucking ship.
What that mean?
Shit, with Christian Laettner.
What that mean?
Go back to 91.
Y'all listen. I'm
Man,
stand by this.
41
Youth players don't be like that in the league.
They don't have to be like that in the league.
Now,
We
some of
like
them,
that
some
in
of,
the NCAA.
some of them go to the league and do their thing, but it's more of them that go to the league that don't do their thing.
Is Brandon Ingram
hey,
all promise?
hey,
Is Brandon Ingram all
answer me this. Is
Brandon
Coach
Ingram-
K
Who? Brandon Ingram.
answer me
All
this.
that.
Is Coach K an NBA coach or NCAA coach? I didn't want to know that. Does he coach for the NBA or does he coach for NCAA?
Why-
Does he coach for the NBA
Why
or
he never went to the
NCAA?
NBA?
Does he? Because he don't have to.
You don't have to.
He don't have to.
Go
Why
get,
would-
go, see, so Cole, go get a challenge. Go challenge yourself.
He did. He went to Team USA.
Go challenge yourself.
Team USA.
Stop, man.
Five
Ain't no
goals.
challenge. You got the best players in the world.
Shit, obviously it was a challenge because the motherfuckers couldn't win shit without him.
Ding dong.
Because they wasn't getting the best players at that time.
Man, I don't hit that shit. Oh, okay.
The Vince
okay.
Carters and the Kevin Garnett's of the
He
world.
was on that motherfucker.
No. One of the, I forgot what team that was. They had a lot of like mediocre, above average players on that USA
Because
team.
they didn't want to play for that coach. You go get cocaine. Now you got LeBron coming. You got Kobe coming back.
Melo, D Wade.
and
This
you
goes
you
on.
giving them props for winning a gold medal with them group of players.
Hey, y'all. Is Steve Kerr a championship coach? Points correct. Nah. Anyway, like I say,
Y'all bad.
you bad.com for not recognizing the
Recognizing
greatness
I
of
said
this man.
he one of the greatest. I said he's just not the greatest. It's John Wooden.
He is the greatest.
It's John Wooden.
Man, look at it.
First.
Then I don't think Cocaine get enough credit for this. College basketball, now whether you agree with it or not, college basketball went from people transferring a lot to people to you having a whole bunch of 3-year, 4-year players to the one and done.
Right.
He's won championships in each era. His first one and done was Corey McGetty. His second one was Lou Aldain.
No, he didn't win a championship with no Corey McGetty.
Did I say he won a championship?
What'd you say?
I said his first one and
done.
done player was Corey McGetty.
The
His second one was Lou Aldain. That's what I said. You got if you woke, open your ears, baby. Talk about my great coach. And then he did something that even the great John Wooden didn't do. He won a damn national championship, not with just one, not with just two, not with just three, not with just four, but 5 fucking freshmen. Fresh out of high school. Still got their high school idea. Still can go in the free lunch line.
2003, baby. 2013, baby.
Or is Jaleel Okafor?
Yeah. Justice Winslow.
Justin Winslow.
They played Butler in the championship.
Grayson Allen.
They played Butler in the championship.
No, we beat Wisconsin with Frank Kaminsky.
Yep.
And,
I think it was Butler.
No, it was
Nope,
Wisconsin
it was
with Frank
Wisconsin.
Kaminsky and Sam Decker.
Yep.
We thank you very much.
2013.
We know
I played Wisconsin.
trying to. I don't care.
Did Wisconsin make it to the championship
I played
game?
Wisconsin, man.
Shit.
I played Wisconsin.
Did anybody say anything about Brad Stevens when he made the national championship twice in a row?
Nope.
No.
No, good coaching.
Oh, not.
Now it's good coaching.
Man,
Now it's good coaching.
You forget the team that we beat with was it 91? 91?
Ooh.
Or was it not? You forget.
That Kentucky team?
No.
Ooh.
Hold on. The 90 and 91 year. No. In 90, North Carolina won. They beat
Who
Michigan.
was Coach K first national championship again? You ain't a true goof fan.
Hold on.
You ain't a true goof fan.
You got me thinking back now. 90 won the first championship.
I don't.
Hakeem Olajuwon. What college did he play?
Houston.
Thank you very much. Goes back and look at that roster. And look at our roster. And tell me there ain't no damn great coach. Hakeem, the motherfucking dream. Only scored
Man, he
22
overrated, man.
points.
He overrated.
Only
What y'all
scored
talking
22 points.
He overrated, man. Great
Coach
coach,
K.
great coach, one of the best to ever do it. But he's a tad bit overrated. I'm sorry. Listen, if you're really a great coach, you're gonna develop them kids to be able to have their game translate to the next level.
Who has the biggest brand in college basketball?
Name somebody that translated that Roy Williams coach. I'm waiting.
I gotta go through the list.
Nick Collison, Kurt Heinrich. They translated.
They went to Kansas.
He was the coach.
You
Oh,
forgot?
all right, yeah.
You forgot?
Man, look, Kurt Heinrich and Nick Collins overachieved in college. What are you talking about?
Yeah, did Roy Williams coach him?
They overachieved.
Didn't they coach him?
For them to even get picked.
When he got to North Carolina, Harrison Barnes.
All right.
That's it.
No. I mean, let's stay right there.
No, I won't go there. That's it. That's
That's
it.
not it. That's
Na-
not it.
name-
Sean May.
Please name
McCants.
another person from North
McCants.
Carolina in the past 10
McCants.
years.
You name yours.
In the past 10
Raymond
years?
Felton. Yeah,
In the
name
past
y'all-
10 years.
Name y'all great players.
In the past 10 years?
Yeah.
Tatum. Stop.
I won.
You ain't got
Zion.
R.J. Barrett.
Stop. Don't say all your Barrett name.
Brandon
R.J. Barrett.
Brandon Ingram.
Brandon Ingram.
Okay.
Kyrie.
Kyrie played 4 games.
I don't give a fuck if he played 4 minutes.
He enrolled, he played.
I don't care if he played 4 minutes. Wendell that plays for the
That's what it is.
I'm talking about over.
Jaleel Okafor.
Stop it.
Grayson
I'm talking about over
Allen.
the history of his coaching tenure at Duke. He has way more kids that don't pan out
Yeah,
the league
I get- but they-
than do pan out the
I,
league.
I,
His group of guys-
I give you that.
So that has to put a little asterisk
No, it
by
don't.
his name.
No, it don't.
Yeah.
Does Tom
We
Izzo
used to-
get an
listen,
asterisk?
Listen. I do
Do he
players.
get an asterisk?
I'm about to say Tom Izzo the best ever either.
No, see, because his resume don't compare him
Listen.
to
Duke
Coach K.
players survive in the league. They got minimum 5 years.
We make it.
Don't forget.
We still
Jabari Parker is still playing.
stealing checks.
Rodney Hood is still playing.
Stealing checks.
Gorgie Jean been in the league for 8-9 years. Terry Rozier has been doing his thing.
You name two.
Montrezl Harrell has been doing his thing. Donovan Mitchell has been doing his thing. All
Hold-
these
hold on,
kids
is
came
the-
from under the Rick Pitino era at Louisville. What the hell y'all talking about?
I'm talking
I
about
can
Grant
tell you Russ
Hill.
Smith. Where Russ Smith at?
Russ Smith played in the league for a little while.
Yeah, a little while. Where you at now?
Our guys, J.J. Redick is still getting checks.
Checks. I understand.
If Carlos Boozer didn't spray the beignet all over his head and shrunk, you forgot it was him and Darren Willis
And you know what's
nobody else.
what's so impressive about Rick Pitino? Them kids he got, none of them kids are no 5 stars. It was 3 stars, under recruited kids, and he turned them into some superstars.
He got them. It wasn't him. It was the strippers that turned them into superstars.
yeah. Stop. Ain't no
When
stripper.
you
that
get
stripper ain't what you shooting in the gym.
you shooting up something.
Before the gym.
When you get top, when
Before
you
practice.
get that top shot booty, it do
Before
magical
practice.
things to you.
Before practice.
I got more respect for somebody that can turn somebody into something.
So you got respect for the shit you got respect for the stripper, not the coach. That's what you saying.
Yeah.
Top shelf booty win all the time.
Yeah, look, he got game. I understand. Rick Fox. That's what y'all recruiting. That's your whole recruiting pitch. Rick Fox.
Y'all just gave Zion over $400,000.
We didn't do
We ain't get nothing.
Not what Nike did. Not what Nike did is between him and Nike. But we
Yeah, Coach K and Nike orchestrated it.
no,
We did
no.
not.
We didn't
It's gonna
do
come
that.
out.
We did that.
It's gonna come out.
Haters gonna hate.
It's gonna come out. I promise it's gonna come out. Y'all gotta be.
41 seasons of greatness.
Y'all gotta
Thousand.
be lost y'all damn mind.
Thousand.
If y'all think
Thousand
Coach K
club.
ain't cheat.
Thousand.
If y'all think he ain't
Thousand
never
club.
cheat, you done lost your damn mind.
Thousands.
The 1,000 Club.
Come on, man.
How
That man
many
ain't
coaches
cheated.
you can say that?
He didn't cheat.
Thousand.
Promise you he didn't cheat.
Thousand. Beat the dream.
I mean, at least,
The
Luke
dream.
Kennard still getting checks.
Checks. Trajan Landon somewhere getting a check.
Kyle Singler getting a check somewhere.
Hold on. What Trajan Landon doing right now?
He's a GM.
Or what?
Pelicans.
Checks.
You know what
That's
they
what we
do?
do.
Ball out with the check, Kyle.
Yeah, who's the next head coach for Duke? John Snyder. Checks.
No, John Shire.
Checks.
You don't even know the man's name.
I always fucked it up, even when he played number 30, baby. But he was stroking that
He was
bitch.
stroking that bitch.
Championship. Nolan Smith. Checks.
Checks.
Josh Capel.
Look, another one. Seth Curry.
Holla at
Checks.
your
Transferred
boy.
in.
Don't matter.
Yeah, it matters.
He played 4 years.
He really went to Liberty. Stop.
No,
Stop.
he didn't.
Yes, he did.
He played 1 year at Liberty.
No,
Played
he
3 years
didn't.
at Duke.
He played more than 1 year at
He
Liberty.
played 1 year at Liberty. He transferred and went to Duke.
Three.
No, he didn't.
He sat on the
Three.
bench. He it was 26
Three.
points at Liberty. He transferred,
Three.
sat on the bench, and came play 3 seasons at Duke.
3. Not 1, not 2.
I mean,
3.
Quentin Cook's still getting checks. Oh, you gotta be-
Championship.
Championship.
TJ Hausman's old. TJ, who's your mama?
Greatness. Now, moving on to the last segment. We're gonna spend too much time.
Hey, you heard Mr. Ruff. You gotta have time to develop, baby.
Yeah, baby.
That's what we do. We just put. It's like at Duke, it's like a roux, baby. We just get it start going. Now, what you add into your ingredients after you leave us, shit, that's on you.
That's on you.
If you put booger sugar in your nose, you gonna get crap. But hey, if you put in time, work, and effort, you turn to Jason Tatum.
Y'all super biased.
Haters gonna hate.
Championship. Now, last segment of the show, we didn't spend too much time on this one here. Obviously, there's been some talk and conversation in media regarding athletes. Should they have to speak to media? Should they be required to speak to media? Obviously, this conversation has been came up due to Naomi Osaka withdrawing from the French Open. Obviously, she didn't want to speak to media. There's been talks of her having some depression over the past couple of seasons, last couple of years, and so she withdrew from the French Open. What is y'all position about athletes having to be required to speak to media?
I think they should have to speak to the media because, you know, you have a lot of these big time media outlets. That's how they pay their bills. That's how they get viewers and followers, but behind the stories that they put out. And if you're not able to ask questions and be in dialogue with some of these athletes, you can't do your job. With that being said, some of these media members need to be held accountable. Okay, some of the stuff that they ask these athletes, they should have a board or somebody monitoring these media members in these press conferences on what they're asking and what they're saying to these athletes, because some of the stuff that they ask, some of it's just ridiculous. Okay, and when you do those things, you should be graded. You should be graded on it, and if you grade below a C or a B or however they want to do the criteria, it should be some kind of repercussions or some kind of consequences behind it. Either you suspended for a certain amount of time, or your pay get docked. Something needs to be in place where media members are held accountable for some of the things that they do and ask in these press conferences. I've never been in a press conference for the NBA, but I have been in press conferences on the college level. And some of the stuff that these media members ask, you sit up there and you scratch your head like, what the hell? And then,
Are you a professional?
as a 17, 18, 19-year-old athlete standing up there listening to that and having to answer that, sometimes, man, these kids are not equipped to answer that the right way. And sometimes they say things the wrong way. Now it's put out, to the public, and it makes them look bad. But media members need to be held more accountable, in my opinion. But to answer your question, I do think the athletes should have to answer to the media.
Coach Hen.
One of the part of being a professional athlete is you sign a contract. You also part of a union. It's in your union agreement that you have to talk to the media. Now, with that being said, you're contractually obligated to do it. So there's no need of do they have to, should they. The question is yes, because if we're contractually obligated to pay you this, you got to meet your ends of your contract. Now, with that being said, I think it's 2 or 3 ways that they should go about it moving forward. One, you should allow the athlete to have their either personal publishers or a team rep, like treat it like court. Like hell, you don't have your own personal publisher, the team will afford one for you. That or 2, I think what G said is a hell of a point, but even make it even more sexier. Instead of they have to ask questions, but they have to type the question, and like it gets like now it's on let's say it's on like some type of pad or something in front of them. The athlete press the answer the question that they feel comfortable answering, because most of them, like, you catching them at a bad time, this affect their brand as well. You know, if they're in a depressed state, you won't know about it, and a question might set it off. They don't want to respond to it, so I don't want to respond to that answer next. So, like, make like some type of app like that, and then if I select your question, now you have the right to be in front of the mic. All right, now you have to ask your question as it's written. If you don't, you get fined. You know, so forth. So like, have better censorship and better what's the word I'm trying to say? Like more control over the environment. Because at the end of the day, if we're what's representing the league right now, you don't want nothing bad out there. It's no longer it used to be the rule, any publicity is good publicity. You don't want nothing bad now. It's too many different organizations. Oh, this person said that, here come Peter running. This person said that, here comes the Me Too movement or whatever. You don't want nothing bad hindering your league, especially with all this money that you're getting from sponsorship. So to protect yourself, I think you should have it that way, because I might want to answer to something, but hey, you might be better equipped to say it than me. So I'm gonna tell you what I want, how to answer it. You go with that.
I don't think every athlete is equipped to really handle them. Not every athlete is able to speak to media well. Every athlete is different. Some athletes are more comfortable speaking to media. They've been a star. They've been around it for some time. And some athletes are just like, they're just not media guys. They're just not being able to speak to the media. Right now, I think overall, media need to be held accountable for some of the things they ask. I've watched a lot of different interviews of some of the questions they ask, and you're like, they're trying to create a narrative that doesn't exist. They're trying to find a narrative, something that they can write and publicize and create some situation on this athlete or this particular sport, and they got an agenda. I just think as athletes, you got to be more conscious. Yes, you are required to speak to media, but I think that athletes should have a little more, they should be given a little more leeway when it comes to answering certain questions. I think they should be given the permission to say, you know what, no comment. And it really need to be that, no comment, and move on.
Because what happened with the situation the other day when one of the reporters asked R.J. Barrett something, he like kind of like flashed out on a slick.
Yeah, yeah.
I forgot what the question was that they asked him, but
it needs to be a point where, I think media does need to be held accountable. You got your job. That's how you pay your obligation. That's how you pay your bills. I respect that. I think media is an important piece. Obviously, ain't nobody covering what that is. No one's covering bowling or pool like that. So it is an important ingredient, to an athlete's life, because it brands the business and awareness of the sport. Agreed. But at some point in time, they're not held accountable to a point of where they're trying to harm the athlete or make the athlete feel bad. Sometimes these people are coming off a situation where they just lost games. They put their hard sweat and tears in something. I'm not saying you got to be sympathetic. You got to do your job. But at the same time, you can't try to create this negative image on them and their brand. Right. That's just my position on it.
Marshawn Lynch said it best.
I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Take it from Marshawn Lynch. And that's just what that is, man. Listen, thank you for everybody subscribing, tuning in to FanView Live, Real Fans Talk Sports. Only on the Waters Talk Network. You got to subscribe to the Facebook page. Catch the show live. Also subscribe to our YouTube page if you're on YouTube, FanView Live. And shouts out to Coach K. 41 seasons.
Over league and win him a championship on his way out.
Hey, and if not, he got 5.
He got 5.
One for each finger.
That's a way to set it up for failure this year.
Hey,
that's a way to set it up.
Hey, what is Rick Pitino doing?
With 1,000 wins.
What is Rick Pitino doing right about now?
And I own him.
I'll pay for it.
Did a great job. Got him to the NCAA tournament.
I'll pay for it.
Rick Pitino making more money selling books.
Wow, him and Heath Freeze part of the same club.
Turn down for what?